there, I'm Amy.Connell. Welcome to Graced Health, the podcast for women who want simple and grace-filled ways to take care of themselves and enjoy a little chocolate in the process. I'm a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach who wants you to know your eating, movement, and body don't have to be perfect. You just need to be able to do what you're called to do. Welcome to another episode of Ask the Trainer, where I answer questions you may have about your eating, movement, or how they work together in I've been saying 5 minutes. It's really like 7. I just need to officially say in about 7 minutes. But today's question is a follow-up to last week's, which was my knees hurt when I squat or lunge. What can I do? If you missed that, go back and listen to it. So I promised you today I would talk to you about how do I foam roll my legs. Okay, there are a lot of different schools of thought on foam rolling out there. And if you don't believe me, just go into Amazon and type in foam roller, and there's all kinds of different ones. There's hard ones, there's soft ones. There's one with they look like torture devices with like little pokey things on the end. They all offer different amounts of pressure. I mean, there's just a whole lot of, there's so much out there. I have to tell you, I'm still learning. I don't feel like I am an expert in foam rolling because it relates to your connective tissue, which you've heard me talk a lot about because I am learning about it. And I think it's fascinating. I mean, you guys, it's fascinating. However, I am still trying to figure out what is best, but I'm starting to speculate that there's no one best way. And it depends on what you are needing to do and it depends on the intent of your foam rolling. This is why when I go to a doctor for a injury, I'm going to have different guidance than if I'm trying to just kind of release my back a little bit. So, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I kind of tend to do in a more of a preventative mode. I'm not trying to roll myself out of a huge injury, which I've been doing okay with the injuries, you guys. I'm doing all right, but it's, so just kind of keep that in mind as we go. If you are instructed by a physical therapist or a doctor to roll a different way, listen to them. They know you. They have seen you. So whatever they say precludes anything that I am saying here. Now, one other thing that I want to mention is you never want to roll on a joint, unless it's instructed by a physical therapist or some other sort of doctor. So that means if you are having knee issues, please, please, please do not roll on your kneecap. Do not roll on the side of the knee. Do not roll under the knee. On a car, under a car. What's the Dr. Seuss? I can't even think anymore. Anyway, don't roll on a joint. And then what I want you to do is have it be moderate pressure. So not like super hugely painful where you're like seeing white spots, and not necessarily where it's just super light. The other thing, and I'm going to get into a little bit more specific here in a second, but the other thing that I have found works well for me, and play around with it, see what works well for you. But I will take a point about 4 inches wide and I will just gently roll back and forth for those 4 inches. And then I'll move to another one and up and back, up and back. So it's a little bit more like working out a muscle rather than ironing the muscle, if that makes sense. I mean, the best description I can give right now is if I have an ironing board, and I have first of all, I iron about 3 times a year. But if I have a really wrinkled part of my shirt, I might kind of get on there and stay on that spot. But while I continuously move for a little bit to get that particular spot out, rather than going all up and down the shirt and up and down from top to bottom. I feel like I can get a little bit more precise with it. So that's the vision that I want to give you when you're foam rolling your legs. Now let's talk about how to foam roll your legs. First of all, remember your legs have, they're circular. I think you know that, but I want you to think of them as having 4 sides. You have the backs of your legs, which are your hamstrings. You have the sides of your legs, which are your IT bands. That's not necessarily a muscle. It's kind of like a hybrid. ligament type thing. You have the fronts of your muscle, which are your quadriceps. And remember, quadriceps have 4 muscles. And then you have the inside of your legs, which are your adductors, adductors. Your abductors are on the outside. So that's like where your IT bands are as well. If you're trying to really get a comprehensive foam rolling session in, I recommend that you do all of these. So you're going to have to spend a little bit of time, maybe start on your quads right above your kneecap. Remember, never on your kneecap, and take those 4 inches above your kneecaps, go up and down. Now, if you really want to get a little bit more comprehensive with your quads, do it where your toes are facing down, and then kind of rotate your toes out so they're like flailing out like a duck. I think that's the best visual I can give you. But do that, and then take your toes in so they're pointing toward each other, and go more pigeon-toed. So again, take your 4 inches and then move up about 4 inches and do that back and forth, and then do a back and forth. Now, if you find a spot that you're like, oh yeah, there it is, you can stay there a minute, just kind of stay there, work it out, see how your body responds. Do the same with your hamstrings. Do the same with your IT bands. I will tell you, if you are consistently experiencing a lot of knee pain and you're trying to foam roll it out, if you could only choose one, if you only had time for one, I would tell you to do your IT band, because that is where a lot of our pressure and a lot of the just kind of misalignment of our connective tissue and our muscles happens. And then, of course, you can do your adductors as well. Now, I know it's really hard to kind of like understand what I'm talking about here through your ears. If you want to see some visuals of this, go over to the Graced Health Community Facebook page, and I will be doing a Facebook Live either on the day that this goes live, which is March 11th, or the day after, which is March 12th, and you can see what I'm talking about there. Also, if you are having some knee issues and you need some guidance for some exercises that don't include lunges and squats, I invite you to get my new free download called Squat Free Strong Legs. In it, you'll get 12 movements that focus on 7 different muscles, a video demonstrating proper form so you don't have to hear me, you can actually see me, and then a few workouts to fit your level to meet you wherever you are. Okay, I have exceeded 7 minutes. We're all coming up on 8, you guys. I'm going to hop off. Okay, that is all for today. Go out there and have a graced day.